Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at cheaters reveal why they're cheating. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. We do not condone this behavior, okay? No matter what, you should not cheat on your partner. I'm a frequent cheater on my wife with escorts. I'm sexually adventurous. My wife isn't. I rationalize it as getting from them what my wife can't or isn't willing to do. I rationalize that I'm not loving any of these women. I'm just using them for a service. I realize I'm a terrible person. Wow, that's messed up. So they want a wife for this kind of reason, but they're also going to cheat on their wife because the wife can't give them this. That's not how a relationship works, honestly. That's so messed up. I wonder if they'll be okay if their wife does the same thing. Like if they're cheating like this, would they not care if their wife does the same thing? Because that's only fair. I've been a cheater in most relationships I've had, and as a result, a self-hater for most relationships. I've been through therapy for about 8 years for other reasons, and what I've come to learn is that I didn't feel I deserved love, affection, or appreciation. This stems from a whole host of other things from my childhood: sexual abuse, lack of fatherly relationship, latchkey kid, etc. I treated relationships as though they were temporary, even though they lasted for years. I'm a good-looking guy, so lots of women offer up temptation that I found difficult to reject, and each time I hated myself. I also picked relationships that were bad for me: cheater girlfriends, terrible communicators, insecure women, etc. Then I met the girl of my dreams. I was so into her from day one that I immediately shut down all of my other options. I told other women I was dating that I was happy and done dating around. I shut down a non-committed long-distance relationship as well. I was really in love. Then I found out she was cheating on me. I can't describe the heartbreak and betrayal I felt. This sent me into a downward spiral of emotional hell. Through therapy, I was able to get back on track, appreciate myself more, and find a girl who's absolutely perfect for me. I do still feel urges to cheat sometimes, but my unwillingness to hurt her saves me. Part of my self-hatred stems from not doing the right thing. Each time I do the right thing, I feel a sense of pride, and it makes me feel worthy of the love I receive. A positive cycle. Wow, well, I'm glad that he went through a heartbreak. And now he knows how it feels to be cheated on because he's been cheating on so many other women. But I'm also glad that he's a better person now. Even though someone's a bad person in the past, I would still be happy for them if they're working towards being a better person. At least they're self-aware. You know, some people, they justify it as blah, 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 and they feel like it's just right for them to cheat. They feel like their girlfriend is not giving them this, so they're going to cheat. My wife is not doing this, I'm going to cheat. At least he knows he's a bad person and that he actually went to therapy for it. And also, he did get his karma, so at least now he knows. You know how every girl is interested in you when you already have a girlfriend? Well, it starts like that. At first, you're not going to cheat, but you want to see if you still got it. Really? Why would you be interested in someone who has a girlfriend? I don't think that's why girls are interested in you, because you have a girlfriend. It's because you have a girlfriend where they feel like they can talk to you normally and they feel like you won't hit on them because you have a girlfriend. That's why they're more comfortable with talking to you as a friend. That's why. But I feel like guys see that as girls are interested in them. No, we see you as a safe person. We don't see you as, oh, I'm interested in you because you have a girlfriend. No, we see you as a good guy and someone we can trust. Now, you know you've still got it and you just want to dance with her a little bit. All of a sudden, you're dancing and making out, but you're not sleeping with her, so it's not cheating yet. Then one night, you're really drunk and had a fight with your girlfriend, so you end up doing the same thing and boom, you've slept with this girl and are officially cheating. Now, you keep sleeping with this one girl because, hey, nothing bad happened the first time. This girl is just a physical outlet for me and I still love my girlfriend. Well, time goes on and you've fallen so far over the line that you can't even remember when you really crossed it. And this new girl wants more from you, and your girlfriend is wondering why you suddenly have to work late but are making no more money, and you've got to try and find a way to break it off with the new girl, but it's hard because you kind of like her too. Suddenly you've constructed a web of lies so complicated that you're not even sure you can unravel it. And you're not sleeping well because if your current girlfriend finds out, shit will hit the fan, and if your newer girl finds out, your girlfriend will eventually find out. You get into this situation where it's just easier to put it off, and it's sort of like when you put off breaking up with someone, but to a greater extent, because the disincentives are so copious. See, this is what I mean. That new girl doesn't even know that he has a girlfriend. If she knew he had a girlfriend and was cheating on the both of them, she wouldn't continue with that because why would you want to be the side chick? But anyways, messed up nonetheless. So messed up. People who cheat, they don't actually love their partner. Because if you actually love your partner, you wouldn't do anything that would hurt them. So, if you're thinking about it, oh, what would my partner feel if I cheated on her? She's going to feel really upset. But I'm still going to do it. Yeah, you don't love your girlfriend. It's just so messed up, honestly. I was single at the time, but he was married, so if that counts, I would tell my story. About 10 years ago, I was in college and met Professor X, who was in my fairly small department. There was definite attraction there, but I knew he was married and had a child, And believe it or not, he wasn't a skis. So we ignored it and I just kind of go to his office hours and chat about the material or whatever. And after about 2 years of that, by which point we were definitely in an emotional affair territory, including a course taught by him. We were at a senior's graduation party in our department and likely tipsy, and he offered me a ride home, then asked if we could pull over, and we both confessed our attraction and kissed in what was the most surreal thing imaginable. What followed was a year and a half of sneaky meetings, first in random hotel rooms and then my apartment once I got one, and 1 or 2 nights bundled into conferences and the like. We fell in love and were brutally honest with each other about the good and the bad of the situation, with some humor too. After we had sex, my first statement was, "And you still gave me a C," referring to the class I took from him a year ago. He still loved his wife and child, and I was always second to them. Literally the first thing we agreed on in that car, but to quote him, it was like getting struck by lightning, and something he had never done before nor planned to do again. Incidentally, I should mention beyond just really liking each other, to the point where we couldn't ignore it. He was also down to having sex, like once every 6 months with his wife, even though they tried various ways to rekindle things. She was just no longer interested as she got older and her chemistry changed, and he was a good guy and loved her deeply. Once again, I was never ever first over her, so he wasn't about to tear his family apart over a dead bedroom. But yeah, even if not the primary factor, it was surely part of it. Oh, I hate reading this because it's like she keeps on saying that he's a good guy. He's not a good guy. What? Just because you're second choice does not mean he's a good guy. It does not mean he's a good man to his family. Once he's cheating, he's no longer a good man. He's not being truthful to his family. He's not being truthful to anyone. He's not a good man. He's lying to his wife. He's not a good man. Why does she keep being like, yes, he's such a good man. I love him for putting me second because he still loves his wife. I love that he's still such a good husband. Why is she like that? Why is she like that? I'm so confused. Anyway, we ended up ending it because he was just feeling more and more like a sleaze lying to his wife. And eventually we ended it and that was that. I cried so hard and was feeling badly for at least a month or 2 after that. Because while I'd always understood it was going to end that way and was willing to do it anyway, it didn't make it hurt any less. And of course, because I never ever had told anyone what we were up to, I was in pain inside but couldn't tell a soul why. That was pretty awful. So why did I do it even though I couldn't ignore it? Honestly, to steal his phrase. It was like being struck by lightning. I would never have a relationship with someone married again. Though believe me, there has been opportunity. But after 2 years of build-up, this was not just something I could ignore and say I didn't want. I couldn't walk away even though I knew it would end in heartache. Because I think back on our time together and it makes me smile to remember those moments. Here's the thing though, obviously he's more the bad person because he's the one with the family and he's the one cheating. But it also doesn't make her any less bad because she knew he had a family. And she still chose to be with him like that. You know what I mean? I just don't like how she still sees him as such an amazing person. Someone cheating on their wife is amazing to you? Really? That's crazy. Maybe it's because she was so in love. She just kept seeing him as like a good person. But because we're like the bystanders, like people viewing it from the outside, we're just like, he's not a good person. That's so weird. Isn't it interesting how like the chemicals in your brain just changes when you fall in love and everything about them is just so good, you can't see the bad about them? I think that's crazy. I dated my best friend. It was one of those occurrences you read in fairy tales where you see the girl for the first time and you know you're in love. 14 years old, first day of high school. We clicked immediately. It took us 9 years of friendship before we finally hooked up. When we finally did, we were both in relationships. It was great. We cheated for a while, then decided to break it off with them and become an item. I decided to part with my ways as a cheater. I had a chick on the side for a while before and during her. I broke it off finally with that one as well. We dated for about 6 months. I spent 3 years trading day in and day out to fulfill a dream of 10 years. It would have required me to move, so I stayed behind and quit to be with her. After 6 months, she started showing the signs. Short texts, breaking off plans, etc. I knew what it meant. She was back on the cheat drug. I couldn't take it. I found everything. We broke it off and I was crazy for about a year. Looking back, I don't blame her. It was a rush. It was what we knew. We started in infidelity, of course. It was bound to end that way. She is by far the greatest person I know. But like any addiction, it is almost impossible to ever shake. I now have a girlfriend whom I will not cheat on. The urge is always there, but you learn to see it as what it is. It's a selfish form of validation. Jeez, well, he got the karma. Because he's a cheater, she's a cheater, they belong together, but obviously they're gonna cheat on each other. Wow. The urge is always there to cheat. Why are they saying it as if that's like a normal thing? Like, oh yeah, it happens. The urge is there. Yeah, it's just what it is. It's a form of validation. Well, no, if you're confident in yourself, if you're secure, you don't really need to cheat to get validation. Like, seriously, people? Seriously? Like, what's going on? Jeez. So weird. I don't get people like that. Like, just stay single at that point. Right. Working yourself instead of using people to validate yourself. Maybe that's what these people are missing. Like, they need someone to love them for them to feel important. Or they need multiple people to show them that they're important because they can't feel validated by their own person. Is that what it is? So confused. But don't cheat. Okay? Just don't do it. It's not worth it. If you've fallen out of love, then just break up. It's way better than cheating and just lying and lying and lying and lying, and you're always gonna keep your lies. Honestly, just break up at that point. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.